Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here at Creative Plan Podcast Network with my friends Scott, Joseph, and Kelly. Woo! August the 10th. Focus! Your focus needs more focus.
The 10th.
Focus.
Hey, what are you talking about? What you saying? Are you saying no for me?
Remember what you were talking about earlier about New York accents? You remember that?
We just crossed into the Bronx. Let's not forget about it.
Forget about it.
So focus. I'll go first since I was last time. Focus.
Were you last time? I remember. It was a whole 24 hours.
It was, and then we kind of, pentagrammed across the table there. Focus. So for focus, I want to throw out there as a GM and storyteller, I'm going to pick the less focused angle of make sure your story focuses on your players. Because as a storyteller, I know a lot of GMs out there, and I'll be critical of myself, that they've got such a tight storyline that they focus more on this pre-written storyline than the players that are dancing their way through it. And railroading isn't really a bad thing, because a lot of times in games you really just need to point the group in the right direction, so go this way.
Well, there's actually a really fantastic video by Matt Colville on YouTube about the pros and cons of railroading versus an open world. He equates them to The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, whereas The Hobbit is an open world. The Lord of the Rings is much more of a railroad. It's a fantastic, 40-minute long video. If someone wants to watch that, I enjoyed it heavily.
I don't have that focus.
But no, it's a very good breakdown of railroading versus an open world, and it's fantastic. And how the focus shifts from the story to the players, depending on which one you do.
But yeah, for me, it's story should be focused on the players, which that's why I always like a session 0, because that way you know what your players are before you write much. You have a skeleton of the story, so that way you can tell your players at session 0, this is the adventure. But I need to know about all of you guys so I can pepper the story with all of your background. So it can be player focused, unless you want to be that Wolverine character who's an orphan, who has no family, who has nothing except for showing up on the day of the game, and what I bring to fight is all I have as a background.
Gee, that doesn't remind me of my mongrel character at all.
No, see, your character's got backstory. You got the whole mongrel thing going. That's more than Wolverine. So that's my focus.
Okay, I'll go next.
So we're just going in reverse order now.
Yeah.
For me, focus is sometimes difficult, specifically, in the modern times, because there's so many different things that draw your attention on things, and it's really important that when you're role playing, you're actually there.
In the moment.
And in the moment. Right. So, and things, like phones or, computer games or, whatever is, just kind of distracts you from that sometimes. So, it's important that you're actually able to focus on what you're doing. It's a short
The table is evil, yes.
It wasn't this very earlier or yesterday.
Well, last week it was. Poor Michael was over there every time he leaned on it.
Well, I wasn't here last week. I was show up.
Okay, let's focus.
Sorry.
So yeah, that was basically it for me.
be in the present. You know, especially
Yeah, because there's always there are players that it doesn't matter. They always have something. I mean, we're all guilty of like having the phone. We have to be available to other things outside of the game. But most of us I think are really good about staying present. But you always have some of those people once in a while. It's like the whole time. Well, everybody else is focused on the game and like, okay, I kind of know what I'm going to do when it's my turn, staying engaged. Then there's that other person that's like, what? Oh, it's my turn?
and because they're not
That
focused,
they need more focus because they're obviously not focused enough on the game than whatever their usually handheld device.
I cast the fireball on the dragon. What do you mean you guys all rushed in the room while I wasn't paying attention?
Yeah.
Reroll!
Yeah.
Well, I guess going off of that, you talked about the players focusing on the game. I think I'll talk about the GM focusing on the players. And unlike Jim, who spoke about the GM focusing on the characters and story, the GM also needs to focus on the players. He has to be able to read the players at the table, because you have to always be able to adapt and improvise and overcome. But it's necessary that you're able to read how they're taking what you're dishing out, whether it's combat or role play or anything, to make sure that they're engrossed and engaged.
And focused.
Yeah, and focused. Because it is their job to be focused on the game that they are taking time out of their day to play. They, at some point in time, they decided that they wanted to be here. They should at least focus. It's also the GM's job to focus on the players and make sure that they're giving the players what they're there for. Yeah.
It's the dance.
Yeah. And so that's the focus I want to talk about.
That's a good one.
Okay, so for me then, I guess I will bring up yet another different type of focus. And I think it relates more to spellcasters, particularly divine ones, clerics, paladins, that type of thing. A lot of people forget when they play these, you have a holy symbol, or a magic user will have a focus, something that they use to focus their spells. Usually with the divine casters, it's a holy item and stuff. So
always get a tattoo.
Or always put it on your shield.
Yeah, but see, like I put
very difficult to remove a tattoo.
That's true. I tend to put it on the shield just because it's like, it's in their face, kind of thing. Or, but so I noticed that a lot of people forget that they have that focus, this,
centerpiece.
Exactly that. But particularly with other casters and stuff, I think that it gets forgotten, but really should have some type of focus.
It's really funny. In my Saturday D&D campaigns, of which I will perhaps be running tonight, August the 10th, a Saturday.
Enter laugh track.
I have arcane spellcaster because it's D&D. They're a necromancer, which is already quite odd since the party composes of 2 paladins, a monk, and a necromancer.
Of course.
Paladins, go outside real quick. I have to do a thing.
Makes perfect sense. They opted for a component pouch instead of an arcane focus like a wand or a staff or an orb.
See, I would have gone for, if I was a necromancer, I would have gone for a bone wand.
Yeah, or an orb,
some type of.
And they went for the component pouch, and it's like that's
mini skull or something.
Yeah, it's like that's so weird, and a lot of people just kind of stop at the fact that the arcane focus or divine focus fulfills the material components of any spell that doesn't have a material component that costs an actual dollar amount. And so it's really weird.
Because like just pull out some back one.
Yeah, because really, if they were to get captured, I feel like for most GMs, a component pouch would be more nonchalant than a magic item that they hold and are seen throwing magic from.
Staff. Yeah.
And so it's like, if they're ever captured, I have to contend with that fact that the bad guys aren't going to be searching for a pouch full of bat guano and pig's ears they're going to be looking for a carved piece of wood or, you know, a bit of bone or a large glass or a crystal chunk.
What's he got there? He's
Yeah.
got a belt full of back guano. That's disgusting. Wipe it on his face.
Material component satisfied. Ray of death.
Bite off his fingers. He might be one of those finger twiddlers.
It's very odd
Yeah.
that someone is actually using a component pouch.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm raising
it's like,
the dead for the forces of good.
Oh, no, they are chaotic neutral.
Oh,
As are both of the paladins.
oh, well then there's no.
Yeah,
the
so
paladins are chaotic neutral.
Listen,
in
man.
fifth, paladins
gods
are all
that are-
over the spectrum
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, you no longer. It's
Sorry.
not like in second where you had to be
Right.
lawful good.
Oh, okay.
After these
So
characters,
paladins
evil
are,
paladins.
are just warriors of the god.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Like-
they're divine warriors.
And even in some, like the
After-
Sword Coast book, it's you're a paladin of an oath of the land. So it's
Yeah.
not even the gods;
Ah.
it's law.
It's like the atheist
Yeah.
version of it.
but the thing is, it's a lot, and so they're chaotic neutral. And so after these characters die, which they at some point probably will,
Chaotic neutral. They're gonna kill themselves
yeah,
somehow.
they're just gonna end up dead in a ditch somewhere. It won't even be my fault. I'll try really hard to kill them. They'll somehow survive, and then they'll get themselves in a ditch again. Somehow. But after these characters, I'm going to be enforcing on my players lawful. All paladins have to be lawful. I don't care if you're good, neutral, or evil. You got to be lawful. Because otherwise,
It's a slippery
what
slope.
oath are you?
Yeah.
Conquest. Oath of conquest.
That's not even chaotic. You are adhering to
Lawful.
an oath, a lawful oath, a bound set of rules of what you're gonna do.
Because you can have lawful good, lawful neutral, and lawful
Lawful
evil.
It was like a chaotic paladin. Like, isn't that?
Isn't that that's the antithesis of the oath.
Yeah.
Because
Not
you're not,
necessarily.
well, the thing is, chaos doesn't believe in rules and boundaries.
Exactly.
Right.
Paladins follow one of the 5 oaths that they follow.
Exactly.
Or even if you make up oaths, it's still
An oath that you
it's an
follow.
oath, which is a set of
And
rules.
because they're a paladin, and often
Mhm.
most of them will follow a god.
Right.
I mean, there's a tenet that they're
They
adhering
have to follow a thing.
However,
So
that being said,
I mean,
you
like,
could have a chaotic paladin in that.
revolutionaries would be chaotic.
No, because they're
No, they
adhering
would
to
be-
their own
Oh,
set
their
of
own
rules.
set of-
Yeah.
exactly. They
So,
are.
so a revolutionary would go lawful neutral, which means you are
Well,
honorable.
actually, the
Right.
And a
revolutionary would go
revolutionary
either
would- yeah.
good, neutral, evil, depending
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
what they're rebelling against.
So if it's
Yeah.
evil or
Yeah.
good, neutral
But
works because you're
you-
your own honor code.
Okay.
There's really only one instance in which you can have a chaotic paladin, and that's
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
Yeah,
And even then, that's built to like take you to Oath of Redemption.
Yeah.
In which,
which is the old fallen paladin.
yeah, and it's like, all right, then you be chaotic, but generally, Oathbreaker wouldn't be your chaotic. It would be you change either your good or
Good,
evil alignment
yeah.
to neutral or whatever.
You
Not
go
that
from
change your lawful,
You go from
so-
Anakin to Vader. You know,
Yeah,
you flip that
because-
switch.
You
Yeah.
go from neutral to evil.
Yeah,
Because if a paladin were to go against whatever tenet they have sworn their ideology to, then theoretically they would lose their magic
Right.
because they no longer have that divine or
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and then they would have to go towards the
Power
other.
beliefs.
So, but that's only in regards to paladins per se.
Now, if you wanted to play
But a cleric would
divine,
also
yeah,
lose.
a cleric can be chaotic. They're a divine spellcaster, and they can
Yeah,
fight
they don't
divinely.
have to be lawful. I mean,
Right.
They just need
But-
to be in the neighborhood of
but
their
if-
god.
But like
but
the
if
whole
they piss
point-
off their god, then
You
they
might
lose
want to.
their-
You might want to be that guy from the Mummy, start pulling out your necklace and say which god will answer my call.
Yeah. Well, I think for paladins, it's like the whole point is to be lawful. That's the
Yeah.
whole point. And I think monks should be much the same way, because like a monk, in being a monk infers that you went to a monastery.
Unless you're a Taoist, the Taoist could go chaotic.
It's
But then again, it depends on what type of monk you're going for. If you're going for
But Taoist is the same thing as you were talking about the paladin couldn't do, because they're still following their own code.
hmm But there's a code there. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'd still be pretty lawful. And it's like
Yeah.
a monk, and like being a monk infers that you either were raised or went through your training at a monastery, which is somewhere where your daily life is codified.
And organized in a set process.
Yeah. And so it's like, monks should be lawful too, really, when you think about it.
I just noticed in 5th they loosey-gooseyed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Except later, monks have a lot more freedom. It's only when they're acolytes. When they're.
But the whole
But
idea,
once they have attained a certain level of, then they're actually free to do whatever they want.
But
only
only,
within the bounds of
because,
their
order.
but only because the assumptions are they know their rules well enough to
Yeah,
stick
that
within them.
Exactly. So,
They-
but
Right.
they have
legal
a
attack.
certain.
And aside from that, and they've gained their martial prowess through, like, a strict obeyance of given physical and
Then you
mental
become that
training.
evil Shaolin monk, that multi-class and rogue afterwards. So you become
Right.
that highwayman in Japan went to the Shaolin monastery, but now it's rogue.
Yep.
Or you want to be a badass, so you went to the monastery, you learned your art, then you became a fighter because you wanted to get a sword in your hands and join the army. And then you fell from the army. And then you
found God, and then you just multi-class into every single class.
Okay, now I think we have lost focus.
We have
Yeah.
totally lost focus.
This conversation just hasn't had much of a focus.
Your
It's
focus,
kind of evolved
you
into
need more
story.
focus. Says Uncle.
No, that was Jackie Chan from the remake of The Karate Kid.
I know, but I bounced over from Jackie Chan to Jackie Chan Adventures, the anime with Uncle.
Honestly, Uncle is
The
so
best.
close to how I imagine Jack Hyde looking.
Focus! Withered.
Like hair slightly less gray, like more salt and pepper, but like that's about
And he'll probably beat you with a blowfish too.
Or his cane that is a sword.
Yeah. So that is August the 10th. Focus. Focus, Daniel-san.
Wax on, wax on.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.
On the battlefield, I'm a warrior, ready to kill or be killed. I've defeated orcs from the north, sent Kandorian demon spawns back to the depths, and drank with Cimmerian heroes. But when I get back from a hard day of disemboweling my enemies, I enjoy nothing more than to open my castle doors and find a dungeon crate as my reward for blood well spilled. Designed for role players and tabletop gamers, Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service with a treasure hoard of loot you can use on or off the battlefield. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So what say you? Are you ready for postal glory? Oh boy. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin!